and all the people that I worked with were just like, you're wearing like we didn't wear suits, but it was like business casual and like all these dressed up women and dressed up men, and here I am looking like a homeless man, and then I would have women come to me and be like, you can't be here like this, and I'd be like, you can't be here like the way you are. Why don't you cut your hair? Your hair looks I told this one lady I really didn't like her hat. She gave me a card for her son's barber. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are giving me a card for your son's barber? I know you're just trying to help me, but bitch.
And dude, I've been having a hard time allowing people to help me lately. I've been every time around this year, and I always forget because I always have a really amazing like September to December, and then the universe puts me through this final boss battle at the end of the year, and it's like it just tosses me in the fucking deep end. Is like I had no access to my spirit. It's pure human. It was like, see how far you can swim, and I was just like,
yeah. I went through the same thing.
I know, for like 10 days, for like 10 days.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was. And it was like, dude, you set all these intentions to purge. You set all this ask to leave, all this in 2020. What do you think's going to happen? You're not going to feel it? And I was like, I never even fucking thought it. I literally, dude, I'm sitting at breakfast today with my mom. I'm literally sitting at breakfast and I'm like, Mom, like, I fucking hate everything. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be on this planet anymore. Like, I feel like I just went 365 days of going through the hardest shit of my life and it did nothing. That's how I felt this morning. And then my friend told me, she's like, yeah, you set a bunch of intentions. I did this intention ceremony in the summer where I wanted to release my husband. And she goes, it was fucking horrible for a week. And I was like, I just did 2 intense days of release with that full moon ceremony. And then I had that experience with that weird ass alien. I don't know what happened, bro, but dude, it triggered my PTSD. It triggered me like it just
it's so crazy how parallel, man. We did the same exact things at the same times. I did the same thing. Remember when I talked about that dark baptism and stuff? I was calling in Lucifer to show me all the shit that I was scared of. Show me what I'm scared of so I can look at it and love it anyway, is what I was doing. And so we all go about it in these different ways, right? And so calling in Lucifer, like most people would be like, that sounds scary. You shouldn't do that. Especially when I'm like, I know how to do it. Right. So it's funny, like the shit that started happening in my world and things that I started seeing. And it felt like I called him Lucy. I'm like, Lucy's on my shoulder, just going, look at that, you fuckwit. Look at that, you piece of shit. And I'm like, hey,
if we're really linked, bro, then maybe you're fucking with me, because if we're linked, especially now that we're communicating, what if I'm like by proxy, I'm getting all the shit that you're fucking doing, and I'm like, I'm not yet a druid, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm doing over here. So I'm like in my room, like losing my mind. I'm like the darkness, the dark thoughts.
We're all one. We're all one.
And again,
so when I call in like that, other people in the world that are on the same frequency that I'm at will experience shit. And it's unfortunate. That's why I waited to do it, I guess, so long. I didn't know this until just now, but that's why I waited, I guess, was because I kept wanting to do this. I'm like, it's time now. It's time now. And then the universe is like, fuck you, it's not time yet. And then I'm like, when is it time? I need to clean this, right?
I'm so tired.
So I'm not at all surprised that you saw shit like that too, and that it showed up in your world. That was never an intention, right? But I needed to see the stuff, and I finally got called by universe to do it, and got the instructions just came into me to do how to do it, and I was like, yeah, okay, if I do it this way, then yeah. So it was really cool. I thought next time or this time,
let's talk.
We could just go live.
Yeah.
That way.
I mean, at this point, dude, this conversation from the fucking moment we picked it up was amazing, and people get benefit from it. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I also want to ask about this one. Unless you just want to go live now, we could do that. I don't know. I don't have that technology.
I know. I'm ready. I can make us go live. It'll take me a minute to like get it all ready and then put the views up properly and get things sorted. So it depends on your time and all that.
I'm chilling, man.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever, dude, because like whatever's easier, you know what I mean?
The
And my
easiest
thing,
is to go live, because then you don't have to get the video and prepare it. And but I mean, I know you like to make it nice and snazzy,
snazzy.
but I like that too. But the videos are like so big. When I was trying, I tried to upload the 6 whatever gig one, and it kept failing. It's the universe. You know what I really think it is? This is what my theory is, that it's
Dude.
dark entities are fucking with things that they can, such as technology, animals, us a little bit if we're open, but more we're going to see it with the people around us usually. Yeah, so I think so you got to be careful with the signs you see in the world. If it's a sign that shows you fear, if you meet it with love, that entity goes, "Oh my God, ah!" and it runs away, because it can't do it.
And
I
that's
also did my first exorcism.
there you go. I feel like I performed an exorcism on myself this last week, dude.
Yeah,
But what I think we should also do and maybe consider is, yes, I really want to do that. Then you could just send me the thing, because I could turn that into clips. So we can start turning it into like we can turn it into some Instagram, because I'm gonna build
That's
a
a
new
good
Instagram.
idea.
I turned my Instagram into it, and I don't want anything to do with my past life, so I'm gonna delete.
Yeah,
My
you could
Facebook.
even, after it's live, well, you're recording it, so you'll have your own copy of it. You could do whatever the fuck you want with it. On my channel, I'll just have it goes live to my channel. Perfect. And then you could do whatever you want to. Take little clips, you could chop it up, put it on Instagram, do whatever you want with it. And then we both have the content separate, but it's still our own thing, but it's separate. We both can benefit from the creation. And
because my thing is you have the reach, and so people will tune on right away. And I bet you have 100 people on. No, I'd say we probably have like 30 people on a live, especially if it's especially if we do like a little premiere and they know about it then, especially. Because we've gotten good results with the ones that we put out there. My channel's just not big enough, and I don't think my audience yet is really into watching an hour-long conversation. Your audience is just like, let's fucking go, because you found the right people so far.
Yeah, they do. They watch. And the last live I did, there was like 20 or 30 people, I think. So, I mean, and I've grown since then by like 500 subs. So, I mean,
that's what I'm saying, dude. And so for me, let's just go on as frequent as we want. And if we do the live, then we don't have to worry about all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And
just keep holding the vision, man, because you've got it. Like I was exactly where you are like years ago. And it's so fucking hard because
I'm losing it, bro. So
you put so much effort in, and then you don't get it back yet. I know. I could feel it.
This is the time right now where I'm supposed to be visualizing, and all I have left is just like all I can do. All I have left is to do. And all I've ever been is a visionary, and I don't have it anymore. But the universe is like, you don't need to, because you've already been envisioning now for 30 fucking years, Adam. Just do. Like
exactly.
I surrender to it, bro. I cannot surrender to just doing and just being okay with it all. It's
hard.
I think because I'm still moving shit out, man. And it's just
like, no, you'll get it. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You already got it, man. You're doing it. And you're so consistent. I'm so, honestly, that is a trait that I don't have. I don't have it.
I don't either. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to
seriously, dude, I'm not. Because what I realized
is, wow.
Look how much energy I put into things, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I stop. And if I'm always cutting myself off at the knees, like imagine what I could do with a YouTube channel if I spend an entire year putting video out like that, not just 3 months. And so that's why I'm forcing myself to continue, because I love it. I love this stuff. Me too. But where I'm at before I get to doing it, before I'm in the action of doing it, is all that's the time lately.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is crazy. So you're saying that you healed that in you, like you built the discipline. I feel the discipline now. I feel capacity for it now.
Yes.
I didn't feel it before, where I didn't feel like I could even do it.
You didn't have no energy.
But now I feel like I can do it because you healed that. I feel like you and other people like you.
I feel that because look what you healed this week.
And I healed other shit.
I think so too, because what I've realized about what's amazing about our dynamic is that we're on the same plane. We just look at things from a different angle, which is obviously different fractal of God, but like it's so complementary. And it's so complementary to where I don't need to really worry about learning the stuff you're learning, because I feel like as soon as you learn it, I already kind of just know it. That's why when you're like, have you heard of this? I was like, no, but I kind of feel like I already know what you're going to say. So it's kind of
Yeah, yeah.
like to find a community like that, to build a community like that where you don't have to learn it all, man, because that's my issue is that I want to do it all. I want to learn it all. There's just not enough time. There's not, and
Yeah.
I'm so tired now. I really just, I'm fucking, dude, I'm in it, man. I'm in the human right now. Shit.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's all good. I could feel it in you, like when we got on the call. I'm like, this guy's tired, and I was like, he needs to be bumped up, like,
yeah, man.
and I
I've also had
think
a lot,
like
I've had a
I'm
lot of,
gonna be more consistent too. Like we could do it daily if you want.
yeah, man. Dude, you know me, man. I'm doing it all. This is all I really do. This is what I want to do. And anything to
Same,
help you grow your channel. You know what I
same, yeah.
mean?
Back and forth.
Absolutely. And my big thing was I had a lot of losses in the last week or two. I lost people. You know, I
Same.
had people kind of like,
Disappear.
yeah, dude, and just oh man, you know, when you're as open as I was and I'm giving and then what I
Yep.
think I'm pretty sure I manifested the one woman that I pushed out of my life because she kind of was very rude unconsciously to me on the adjunct or on the conjunct night on December 21st.
Mm.
And dude, I got left in like in the woods, in like the redneck woods of Florida, in the dark with no streetlights around, and she wasn't answering her call. And I'm like, and it just reminded me of like my childhood being left flat, being left ditched, and all
Bro,
that. And dude,
that
and
breaks my
I was
heart,
like,
man.
I was triggered, and like I'm in my car waiting, and like, dude, I shouldn't have gone. I didn't listen to myself because again, one of my things is that I break in a lot of commitments these last 3 to 4 years. I just break commitments left and right because I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to break this commitment to her, but she was never even committed to me at all.
It's
But
almost like we should talk about this on the
oh shit, yeah, I'm going. So all of our
no.
yeah, so
It's good. I'm just thinking it'll help other people,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. Let's go.
Yeah, let me try to go live.
Go ahead. I'm
It'll
gonna
just
keep
take
recording on my end, and then I'll just edit up clips and shit like that. So
yeah,
my thing is I'm gonna keep my screen. I'm gonna keep my screen like this, where who's ever
where it
speaking,
goes back and forth.
yeah, because that I can take those clips, and if it's you talking, I could just
I'll
clip.
do it. I'll just do it maybe side by side.
Because I was going to ask you if you would rather that side by side, because I was watching Charlie Freak. He just does nothing. He just puts his shit up there, you know, just like you do. But he always puts his side by side. And I
Yeah.
was even thinking, I was like, that'd be cool because then people can watch both of us, even though I hate watching myself finick when I'm not speaking. But
Yeah, me too, but whatever.
he also something really cool would be is because it leaves so much room up here and up there, is you can actually make some pretty cool designs and put some stuff for like Instagram. So I'm gonna play around with it.
Yeah.
I
We'll figure
haven't
it out
added
as we
you
go.
yet. I want to show you the one video I made and I put on Instagram, and I designed the whole backdrop of it like they do.
Yeah.
And I know if you make consistently solid content like that,
Yeah.
something, I know that it'll come. And so what oh shit, I just got this is a channel. I hate social media, but I
Me
don't
too.
mind Instagram because I love design. I love doing it. Do you want to share an Instagram? And like,
Sure. Yeah.
so like you can push your audience to the Instagram. I can push my audience to the Instagram. You don't have to worry about doing anything you don't want on it. Meaning,
Sure.
you don't, like if you don't want to design anything, if you don't want to really post anything, I don't mind making that content up. But my thing is I just need help pushing followers to it, and I want to start fresh. And I think,
Yeah, let me write this down.
yeah,
I don't want to forget. I'll totally forget.
that's fine.
I forget literally everything all the time.
Because I don't think with my brain anymore. I think with my heart, and so it's hard for me to remember
Same.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's my problem too.
And when I'm speaking, well, when I'm talking about business, I am thinking. That's why you'll see me look up. I don't make eye contact when I'm thinking and speaking. But when I'm talking from my heart, I won't break up. Yeah, I won't break eye contact when I'm speaking from my heart because I don't need to use my brain. But when I'm talking about business, it's hard for me to always keep eye contact because I'm in my brain kind of going through the multiverse. And
when I look up, usually it's me, or I'll look to the side like this, and I'll listen for my guides.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of how it works for me. Like I listen for guidance on what's going through.
And if you really want to start doing a more regular thing, I would like to have some of these episodes. Like I don't know what I'm doing when I channel. I know I channel.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm very good at it. I know I'm better at it than I think I am. But I think an episode on what is channeling, what is it from your perspective, because you have that connection to where you're like, I don't know what I'm hearing all the time. I don't know yet. Still kind of, is it my ego? Is it my body elemental? Is it my consciousness? Is it? So for me, I'm a little confused, and I know that means other people are.
Yeah. This is all the stuff that I would love to teach, because it's important. What are we going to call that? And not just that it's important, but like, people get in their own way of it. They don't trust themselves enough. That's the basic thing. Trust yourself. That's just the basic advice. But yeah, we go deep into that. What are we going to call the Instagram?
What are you feeling? What is right now, right from the top of your head? Boom.
Shadow to hero or something, or nothing to do with heroes. I just liked what you called the talks.
From shadow to hero.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. You're better at naming things than I am.
I love it. I used to spend hours on Xbox usernames and shit like that.
Yeah, you're so good at it. So I think you should pick, man.
All right, you don't mind what it is? Because I want to do something. I want to do something that brings both the brands together, but also then allows us to have room to expand as we move forward.
Yeah, you're much better at the businessy, like conceptualizing businessy things. I understand it, but
you know your audience, and this is the thing, dude, is I don't know these people, and so for me, I'm honestly kind of novice when I'm not really. I know a lot about business, but I don't.
It's all people like me. It's all people like us, both of us. Like we're all the. I like to think of us all just as seekers of truth. So, we're all seekers of truth, and so
that's my thing too. Is something big I've been more focused in is mastery. You know what I mean? Like
mastery, yes.
Assuming our right as masters, because we're already ascended beings. So for me, it's something about mastery.
That's awesome.
Truth.
Yeah, mastery. It could be called
Truth and Mastery.
Ascension Masters. What about that? Because that's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna do the course stuff on, called Ascension Masters, and it could link into that. And I wanted you to be a part of that.
All right, let's do it. I think that's it. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting because that's also what I've been getting from all of my research, all the books that are coming to me. Everything has everything to do with mastery. I've always wanted to be a master of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's our goal, is to master and then teach what we've mastered. What if we haven't mastered certain things, we won't talk about it, but so we are masters of what we know, right?
And to be honest with you, if we know something, does that mean we're not masters of it? Because like when we know something, we actually embody that knowing. It's an understanding.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people know this 3D educational kind of like, oh, I know that fact. I know that figure. I know what they're doing over there in Russia. You don't know shit.
Well, that's the thing, is we know we don't know.
But we understand these concepts, like
understand.
Understand. It's not about it's about understand or overstanding.
Yeah, exactly. It's about understanding through that higher viewpoint of things. And once you can do that reliably, I think you are an ascended master or ascending master. That's how I see it. I'm just trying to get this display capture to work.
And here's another thing too.
Kind of finicky.
If you need to think, because you're an IT guy, and I know you need to use your brain to like work through shit.
It's funny, you're totally reading my mind right now.
I can see it in your face. You're like, shut up, so I can fucking do.
I wasn't thinking shut up. I was just thinking, fuck, this is hard to listen and do this. But I wouldn't think shut up. That's not how I roll.
Mastering your thoughts and language. That's where I'm on right now, man.
Yes, that's exactly. We're mastering all of these different aspects of self.
What's your opinion of curse words?
Fuck them. What does that mean?
I think it's intention. I think it's in vibration and frequency intention.
That's exactly what it is.
If you say motherfucker, I mean, I don't think there's a way you can say motherfucker without it being like kind of a little.
What about goddamn?
I avoid that one, dude. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Do you? I agree with you on the intention. It's the each sound that comes out of you has a sort of heart-based resonance, and so I can say goddamn all day long, and God's not going to damn me. He understands I love him already, so there's no issue. That's how I see it.
The way I look at him almost is using God's power and name in vain. And that's what I believe is sin, is just, or blasphemy, is using God's name to either manipulate or saying God, like to me, when I hear God damn, that's saying God damn whatever it is. So we're going deep again. So
It is casting spells. You're right. You're right. But it's still intention. Yeah.
It's all intention. It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you could say God damn with love, and you're not casting a bad
spell.
spell.
Damn. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Right. Exactly like that. I love those goddamn chicken fingers.
Fucking chicken fingers.
Right. And like you're
dude, that's a little close to home. I'm in Florida down here, man. I got Florida man. I got all that shit.
Yeah, well, that was the point, I think. I had no idea, but obviously I was meant to just yell the chicken fingers.
You're a Canadian wizard, so you're basically like a Florida redneck, just up north.
Yeah. And the northern Canucks are fun. They're funny. They're funny guys.
One of my things is I really want to go to Canada, man. I really want to go to Canada. I think I'm gonna.
I would love to see you up here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna
be in the States. I should come visit you actually when I'm in the States, or you could drive up to.
I'm driving up
in Florida. I'm going down to Nashville probably within the next bit. I don't know when. And I guess it's like a 12-hour drive. And me and my lady friend will probably meet you if you'd like to. And we could.
Yeah, man. If it all works out the way it needs to work out, I'm all about.
Traveling. Yeah. No commitment. Just.
No, it's my thing is all about the resources at this point. I'm also I'm in this boss battle where I'm having to surrender and let go and trust God that He has my back.
We'll probably go to Florida anyway, so.
Mm-hmm. Because like what I plan on doing this year, hopefully by May, is I want to get a van and I want to retrofit it, and I just want to start going places and just doing videos and meeting people and doing things, and
same.
I'm tired of like just waiting. I don't know what I'm waiting for anymore. And God was.
That's it. It's time to go. It's not time to wait.
Yeah.
What they told me was it's 2020 fun this year.
That makes sense. Did you get a mulligan? 2020.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like. It's like 2020 was the time to look. Now it's time to play.
Oh. And I heard a lot of good things too, man. And I knew that the first couple months were going to be a little rough, especially
it's
with the
collective. Yeah. It's going to be rough, but we can play.
Oh yeah, because we did the right work this year.
Yeah. Last year. We get rewarded now. Yeah.
What was crazy is I saw a lot of my friends that were very spiritually advanced and were moving in the right direction. They chose a completely different path in 2020, and it pushed them back kind of, like a step back. But what I realized is when they're both 26, 27, and it was around that age when I had a chance to really move into this ascension, and I was on a path, right? And I could have continued chasing my heart, doing the yoga, doing all the great stuff. Or that's when I went after that girl, and that's a dark winter of the soul. But Yeshua came to me. I remember it's Yeshua's voice. He came to me and said, Adam, you need to go through this. It's because I hadn't gotten over that one girl, but it was also the breaking I needed then to heal all of this. So it's like, you can go this path and then it'll be nice and it'll be good and it'll be bubbly, or you can do what you can do what you signed up for now. He didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
He just said, you need to go through this. And I'm like, I've heard that before, so I'm probably going to listen to it.
Yeah. We and you have had so much shit with women, man. I did the same thing that you did with the driving out to meet them and them just not showing up and just whatever.
Dude, I've had
exact same thing happen.
I've had so many women, man. That was my biggest folly. And what's crazy is I actually just hit I'm a year and 4 days of celibacy. First time in my life since I started.
A year and 4 days of celibacy. I don't know what exactly. I don't count, but I haven't had sex with anyone.
I did it on New Year's Eve, and I sat in my room for an hour, and I was like, should I do this? And then I just said, you know what? Let's do it, because if I'm not going to do it again, then let's just do it. You know what I mean?
I guess for me, it's probably been like 6 to 8 months or something. Yeah. I'm not sure. I didn't count. I just stopped.
Yeah. But for me, that was a big one.
That's a big thing, yeah.
Because that was one of my crutches, man. I always would. The last couple of years after I got out of the Marine Corps and I went to school and I started being able to be a person again, like getting a woman was just nothing. You know,
I'm feeling that's what we should talk about today is finding your divine feminine as a divine masculine, and some of the challenges we've had trying to figure this out, because we both feel, I think, called to do that.
Yeah, I do.
But
I have my divine feminine in, I have my divine feminine in me these last 3 years, like legitimately in me, helping me heal and teaching me how to kind of embrace my femininity. And this summer when I had that weird experience I told you about, they came to me. I've had some really intense channeling experiences, but it's when I was like fucking, and they basically said, you have a choice. You can have her with you the entire time, the rest of your life. And then you most likely won't have that relationship that you've always wanted. That real romance.
I got the same thing. Yep.
Or you can have half and half, where you can have a part of her with you, and then, or you can have like where it's all her and you have none of her with. And so what I said at first was I wanted her back because I was so lonely without her. And then eventually I was like, it was funny because I was like kind of wishy-washy on what I wanted it to be. And then all of a sudden I said, do I even have to make a choice?
Fuck, I can't stream.
Oh shit, why not?
I'm missing some. Sorry to interrupt you. I know
what you're missing.
I'm missing some shit for this OBS, and
okay.
Yeah, I'm missing just some shit on the technology side.
Okay, that's fine. We can do it next time. I've been recording this whole conversation, so.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot. Yeah, so
that's actually a pretty good conversation. And
yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
This audience, this is how you flow. This is how you do it. When shit's not working, you just let it go.
And honestly, what I've also realized here, I want to, then if we're gonna do it like this, should I do the side by side then? Do you want to do the side by side with this one?
It's entirely up to you. I however it works. Yeah, however you want. I trust your instincts on these things. You have.
I've just been feeling like I've been wanting to at least try one. Just I don't know why. I just want to try it, and I gotta find how to do it.
I prefer it side by side. I think because I do like that people can see both of us. They can see our I feel like we transmit stuff through our eyes. So even when you say something, and I'm like, it's kind of like,
it's true. It's all energy, man. And we're energy. Yeah. We're super gallery. Boom. Okay. You there? You good?
I'm there. I'm good.
Okay. We're not fucking up with an intro or anything like that. It was so funny. So I was doing another interview with my friend, and we just jumped on. We were spitting. We were flowing. It was fun. And all of a sudden, I was like, whoa, this is too good. Let me throw on an intro. I threw an intro on. Gone. The spirit left. Everything went away, and all that was left was just like me. And like,
that's funny.
It was meant to happen that way because I never understood what happened with Vetting America, like why I can't watch my own content and why I can't get into it and why it wasn't really hitting. And in reality, it was because there was it was authentic, but it was like an interview show. So it was me asking a question and that person answering the question. It wasn't like this conversation.
Yeah.
And I realized, man, if it ain't this, then
dude, and this is a piece of advice. I don't know, take it or leave it, but I force myself to watch every video I make. I watch the whole thing and I watch it and I'm proud of myself just for being there and doing it. And I watch my things and I do, and I'm like, I hate that I do that, but I'm, good for you, bud. I like talk to myself.
That's what that's what the 100 vlog challenge is really, really unlocked in me, was putting myself out there raw and real like this, putting my truth out there, raw and real. And then also having to edit and see myself every day and see all those, but because I've done it now, today I did day 76. So I've done 76 days of videos and I got to watch myself. Now, man, I can just, boom, I can like deliver and I don't even have to watch it. But what's amazing is because it's really flowing from me. I do a prayer or a meditation before I come on and I ask the universe to flow through me. I ask God to use me as a vessel to speak truth to those who need to hear it. And because of that, when I watch my stuff back, man, I post them a week before so that I give myself a 7-day buffer to be able to work on some of the other videos and stuff. Because, I'm still going through this thing. I'm exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
And so what I've found, man, is just, I've grown so much, dude, in this experience. And every time I go back and I watch my video every day now, I make sure I watch it because I'm supporting my own. If I'm not going to watch my own content, nobody's going to watch it.
Click the like button too.
I do.
Yes.
I like it.
That's what I'm talking about. Love it. Love it.
I'm subscribed on like 2 or 3 Gmail accounts. I'm like, whatever, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I do that. I click it. I'm like, yeah, I fucking like it. So I made it. Okay, when I first started making videos, I'm like, I don't want to like it. It's it's egotistical for me
Dude,
to
same
like my
here.
own stuff. Oh, I don't have permission to like my stuff. Of course you do. Of course you have permission to like your stuff.
Do
And if
you
anybody says otherwise, fuck them.
look? Do you? How many videos have you made so far? Because this YouTube channel alone, I think, is at 400 or 500, and you've been making videos now for like 7 or 8 years. I mean, not obviously of the same stuff,
Yeah,
but there's a
a
reason
few
why
hundred.
you're good at this, and you've been doing it for so long.
I'm good at talking to people. So I noticed it almost immediately in my YouTube channel. Like I needed to just talk and just do what I wanted, and I was decent at it, and everybody seemed to like it. Like most of my videos did pretty well, even the first few. Like my first video, I think has 20, 30,000 views or something.
Same here.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's awesome, man. So you
No, it was my one. I put out a video, my first video ever 3 years ago. I put out a video and it was like
yeah,
right on it. I talked about my journey. I'll send it to you.
yeah.
On my other it's on my other YouTube, and it ended up getting like 11,000 or 12,000 views. And then I did the exact opposite of that video.
It's my theory is I did a video called the Starseed Contract.
Yes,
This video
that's why I
was
met you. That's
yes.
why
Oh my God, I forgot. This video was
is because
like
I was like, what
pure.
the fuck is this Starseed shit? I don't know.
It just came in. I'm like, oh, I understand the contract. Blah, 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 blah. And I just started telling people I didn't have any reference. I just was like, the contract is this, blah, 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 blah. And then the universe was like, yeah, buddy. And then just pushes it to people.
Yep.
Using the YouTube algorithm, right? Like it's all and then I'm like, oh, that was me doing it right. And then I'm like, well, now I got to force it. I start writing down things and trying to really make it just so, and then it doesn't feel right. And I'm like, well, this isn't, and kind of resist it myself. Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
all right. I don't know if you've told this story before, but I want to hear it. And I want to hear when you decided to go from, because this was a hard choice for me. I guess we're talking about the creative side of the spiritual journey and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it was hard for me to go from conspiracy realist when I was talking about all that stuff about, the government and everything like that. That was my true awakening, was 8 years of studying the human trauma,
Mm-hmm.
but making the decision to go from making that content and then just, and I only had like 24 subscribers, and I was like, but I'm like, oh, what about my subscribers? And I was like, you know what? I need to do this because this is the way I need to go. I'm getting censored. I'm getting blocked. So tell your story of when you decided to go from making video game Twitch streams to going, you know what? I think we're going to talk about druidism and magic.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was making video game stuff, I loved video games my whole life. I still love them. I don't really play them that much because I'm too busy in the clouds being a weirdo.
I'm my own RPG now.
Yeah, exactly. I play my own games. I don't really need video games. I tried to give away my PS4. So I love playing games, and I saw I was sitting on break at work, hating my life, hating it, right? And I'm like, this life just is boring. And I was watching Markiplier, and I was like, this guy's hilarious. I could do that. That is so easy. I know how to make these things easy. And then I was just like, I'll do it then. And so I started doing it, and it started to work, and like I started to get traction, and I was like, why is this so fucking boring? Right? Like I just didn't, it didn't resonate. It was boring to me. I enjoyed it for a bit, and then it's almost the same patterning that you have whenever you have a goal. You're like, you get there, and then you're kind of like, I thought this would be kind of better, In fact, I need to plug Disney's new Soul, because if you haven't seen that movie, it is a fucking documentary, bro.
Is it?
Watch it.
Disney's Soul?
Soul. It's called Soul. It came out on, guess what day it came out?
I don't know when. Christmas. Oh my gosh, that makes sense. Soul Day. I was like, Soul Day.
Yeah, it came out on Christmas, and it's the. I like to think of it as the birth of the cosmic consciousness into the humanities collective in the physical in a mainstream way.
Yeah.
And if you watch it like I did, I cried the whole movie.
Really?
Oh yeah, the whole movie. It's the best movie I've ever seen.
Is it on Disney Plus or something?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I probably stole it.
Live stream it.
I wish I could. I don't want get my channel.
YouTube finds them copyrights quick, bro. Like they jump on
those
that.
robots know what's up, man.
Dude, they do.
Yeah,
so keep going with
smart robots.
Decided to like really change to shit. As I went through your channel and I watched the beard video, and I watched the one.
Oh yeah.
This is where we're gonna go for this channel for now on, everyone. So if you don't really like it, you could just unsubscribe.
Yeah.
That was great.
I mean, because I know that I don't get any value from subscribers that don't want my stuff. And I don't want them to be wasted, cognitive processing power on seeing my video show up if they're not interested, right? At the time, I didn't understand that they won't even see it if they're not supposed to see it, right? That's the law of confusion, right? So they won't even see it if so I don't worry about any of that. And I had no idea, just intuitively, innately, for whatever reason, my purpose, my soul, whatever, I just innately understood these things without totally getting it.
Yep.
And then I kept trying to switch it. So I was like, maybe I should talk about IT stuff, like technology, because that seems more, I'm an IT guy. I love technology, sort of. Like, I guess it's all interesting to me. So I started.
I'm an IT guy. I've just been doing this for 10 years. I kind of like it, I guess.
Well, you know how the universe like puts you somewhere and then it makes you sort of regress, right? So it's almost like puts you back. And I was like, IT is boring to me now, because it became an expert at it. And then I was just like, this is boring.
Yeah.
Then I started doing the gaming stuff, and then I started doing the IT on channel stuff. I only did a little bit of that. And then I was like, for months, I was just down. I went through a dark night of the soul for months I didn't even know it was a dark night of the soul yet, but I was just like, I have to do something that is not just go to work every day for 8 hours. I don't care if I go to work every day for 8 hours. That's great. That's fine. But I have to do a thing. What the frig is the thing? And then one day I just woke up to it. I'm like, oh, I got to talk about the stories and what I'm learning about myself and about the world and reality and how to heal myself and these different things. I started to understand, like, people, I was getting a lot of benefit from people that just told their stories about their processes for self-healing and all these things. I'd sit there and go, oh yeah, that's great. And then I'd watch like tarot readers, and I'd feel like when they're doing it, I'd feel resonance. I'm like, this resonates with me. This makes perfect sense with what's going on.
It makes more sense than any other shit they've been feeding
us. I got obsessed with tarot readers, and I'm like watching all their content, and I'm like, I could do that. And I almost tried to be a tarot reader, and it's the same.
But you're good at it. Right? I don't think you get to be an actual full.
Oh, I'm great at it. For prompts, I'm great at it. I know, but
for prompts, like, you pull 3 cards and have a fucking 25-minute conversation about it. Like,
I brought this because I knew this would come up, I guess.
Bro, let's pull a card. Like, well, let's see. Let's put it to the test in a little bit, where we just pull a card and see if we can talk about it.
Sure. Okay. So these are galactic heritage cards. Do you want to do it now?
No, here. I want to finish the story. So I want to finish your.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was about it. I basically just decided, people need the truth. I need to share my truth. People need it. It helps them somehow. I couldn't figure out how it helped them at the time. I just knew that it was helping me hearing other people do it. So my mission sort of became to like also help people. Like, I was feeling so shitty about myself that, because I was such a fucking weirdo.
Dude.
And I'm like, everyone else is running around.
I want to be normal. Why can't
And I'm like, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And I went through this. I went to see psychiatrists. I don't know if not everyone will know this, but I was put in mental institutions. I was diagnosed with, or not diagnosed, but they suggested I could have psychosis, all these different things. They tried to medicate me. And so I'm like, what is wrong with me? I feel normal. I feel good. And then people all tell me I'm insane. And right. So I'm like, this is not right. It's not right. And I started to find out, oh, I'm empathic. That's a thing. Then I learned about like mirror neurons and how it fires in the brain, which triggers the emotional response in the body. And they say that, like, science will say that it doesn't mean what, but it's more of energy, right? It doesn't really matter what the physical functions of the body are with in that respect. It's just the energy, and the energy manifests prior to the physical response anyway. It's all, you know, the physical response is a response to the energy, right? So whatever mechanism, whatever, that's how how you become empathic. And then I started to understand auras, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to get it about myself. Okay, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, and it's starting to make sense. And so I realized that, like, by just talking about it, it would help me or help other people deal with their stuff, I guess. And a lot of it, I didn't even know why I was doing it.
It's awesome.
When I first started,
followed it, right?
Yeah, when I first started it, I had no idea really what I was doing.
That's for me, like 3 years ago, you know, when I graduated college after getting out of the military. I was a tax accountant, so I went and did 2 top 10 CPA firm tax accounting internships, and it was the worst thing I've ever done in my life, bro. And I just got out of the Marine Corps.
Even hearing it, I'm like, oh,
dude, it was just so not it. And then by that summer, I hit that low point where I was like, what's the point, you know? And I'm coming off of, before I went in the Marine Corps, I had a flash with suicide. Wasn't a very strong attempt, but the fact that I got to that point of even trying to hurt myself, unlike most people where they'd go and tell their parents and their parents would take them to the doctor, my mom was like, yeah, join the Marines. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And because we didn't know, and I've always been such a high functioning individual that even though I was traumatized a lot and I had PTSD and I had all these issues, my brain and my intelligence and my ability to think was never really hindered, because as soon as I wasn't left to my own devices, if I have something to think about, I'm good, man. That's why I love video games. It was like a distraction. And even my video games, I didn't play RPGs. I didn't play thinking games. I didn't want to think. It hurt to think. I wanted to play first person shooters. So I wanted to play with violence, and I wanted to get really good at it because I like the repetition and becoming really good.
I used to play Counter-Strike like semi-professionally.
Dude, I can see it. I can see you play that. I was my best game I ever played was Halo 2, dude. I was unstoppable in Halo 2. But other than that,
I played Overwatch as well. Like I think I got to Masters or something. I don't know. I pulled these cards while you were talking because I thought it was really interesting. We've got creative communication.
I'm going to write it down. Creative communication.
Serious energy.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh, serious. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's backwards. It's backwards for you.
It's backwards. And it's 61.
It's not backwards. It's not backwards for you. It's backwards in the camera.
Yeah.
And then we have holographic healing.
It's actually not backwards in my camera. And it's Pleiades.
Oh, perfect. Pleiades. So Sirius is with us. Pleiades with us, right? This is the energy that's with us now in this interaction, I believe.
Okay.
Pleiades, this is the future timeline. Holographic healing. So what are we doing right now? We're 2 holographs of, you know, reality, lenses of holographic reality, looking at each other, helping to heal. We're both talking about our experiences. We're healing ourselves, and then other people that watch it heal themselves through that. They have realizations, awakenings. We're channeling almost creative communication, and it's all to graduate, my brother.
Damn. Earth School. I just made a video, dude. I made a video yesterday called "We're Still in Earth School."
Yeah.
That I'm being really, I scream when I'm talking to you. I don't understand. I get so excited.
We get excited. Do it. Scream, man.
But like, it's so crazy when I'm working on our video, because like my audio octaves are up here and your audio octaves are down there, and it's like I'm having to cut it all the time to like bring me down. I'm like, I'm so excited about Earth School.
Do I need to pump mine up at all?
No.
This card just came out.
What is it?
Birth and expansion.
Wow.
Lyra.
Birth.
Right. And this deck has a lot of negative cards.
Does it?
Yes. So that's just something I want to say for the viewers. Like so what I've been doing a lot with these cards is if I'm feeling like I'm speaking with, I almost use them as a reflection to be like, I feel like I'm speaking with various entities from various galactic areas, right? Pulling in those frequencies, like whatever. And then I'll be like, is this real? Like, what am I understanding this properly? This download that I'm getting, is this like, am I getting it? And then I'll pull the cards, and the cards will often make fun of me. Like, they'll be like, you're too much in your head. What are you doing? Like, we're giving it to you. Like, that's what the messaging I'm getting. And so then what I would do in my personal practice is I would be like, oh, I'm too much in my head, and I get mad at myself, right? So it would almost serve the opposite purpose. I'd put myself into a further stupor and confusion about it because I wasn't trusting. Trust it, baby.
But like, think about, like, look at the cards we just pulled. I'm just gonna say, I wrote them down, and I'm gonna flow with it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So we pulled creative communication from Sirius, holographic healing from Pleiades, graduation off of Earth to birth and expansion. We use creative communication because that's what we're doing right now. Is actually, in reality, we use communication to heal. That's what I realized, is that I am a healer. I just use words. I use concepts because we don't heal anyone. Everyone heals themselves. We just kind of bring insight. We use creative communication because we're using this now virtual. We're using YouTube. We're using this whole new way of communicating as humans to help people heal holographically. Because in reality, this is a holographic realm. This is a matrix, of a light matrix. We're just made of photons anyway. And at this connected consciousness, through this tuning fork, through our third eye, we pull the field of quantum into the field of reality, and then we manifest.
I just totally had a vision of you, dude, when you did that. I totally had a vision of like this guy just chilling in a spaceship with like all this beams of light coming in and out of him from his right here. Just
so when I use HemiSync, one of the sessions is about going into Focus 15 or Sense 15, which is outside time, and it's outside time and space.
Yeah.
And the way I look at that is, so to get to Sense 12, I view myself going up my silver tether into the spacecraft that my higher self and oversoul are in.
Yeah.
And then I visualize in that spacecraft, right? I visualize the three of us holding hands in like a triangle, right? Holding hands, and we have a crystal between us, and our third eyes are all focused energy on that crystal. And then that beams me out of time and space and outside of the universe. And that's when I'm able to start messing around and looking into the multiverse. And that's when I've been getting into.
You've told me a little bit about that. You've told me it was just a flash, though. It almost like on my screen, it almost looked like an apparition formed over you. It was really interesting because my clairvoyance is going bananas. Bananas. Awesome. I'm starting to see like some crazy stuff.
So. And what's nice is when I talk to you is I do feel that you're a month or two ahead of me in terms of like these. But I think what's happening is that because we're connecting more and more, my resonance is starting to catch up to yours, which is nice.
Yeah,
because I've been starting to see things too a lot more vividly. But I guess it is because I had that weird experience on October 30th where I saw that thing at the side of my eye, and I was like, "Ooh, man!"
They test you. They test the side too. That's where it happens usually at first.
I did not receive it with love. I did not receive it with love. I did not receive it with love.
Those are the tests.
Armor of God, fuck you.
yeah. If I've been seeing grays all over the place, and grays, some of them have been healed and are loving, and some of them have not been healed yet and are not loving. So at least that's my experience. But if a loving being is also coming, like a gray that freaks you out, a loving being wouldn't show to freak you out, but a gray will show to try to freak you out. Yeah. So, or a gray or a reptilian may form an apparition near you to try to freak you out, or use the energy in the area to manipulate, or an exploitation of your own conscious mind. It could be an attachment that you actually are holding. If you're giving your energy to somebody else and they have an attachment, you can actually invite that into your experience as well. So that's why we isolate so much and have so much hermit mode time, where we're not so dove into people and connected and so open with them, because we absorb their attachments too, just by engaging with them at a very deep and emotional connected level. We can often pull in their attachments accidentally. So
that, going back to that video we watched, or you sent me today with the mystic, the autistic mystic.
That dude is amazing. I love that guy. I want him on the
channel.
If
you haven't seen Autistic Mystic, you need to check it out. We'll leave a link in the description below. Yeah. But this guy is awesome. He's on point. And when he was talking about the crystal children, that really resonated with me. It resonated how we have clear auras, which means that we can chameleon, which I agree, I've been a chameleon, where it's like I can go into any room and be okay with everyone. But there's always that person that's in a really low vibrational state that really doesn't like me because I make them really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For the most part, I get along with everyone. And I realize as I start to chameleon and I'll start to like, I'll hear myself almost getting the accent sometimes. Like I'll hear myself and I'll start, and I'm like watching myself and I'm like, am I being a weirdo right now? Like, what is that? And it's honestly, it's because we're able to get people to be comfortable with us because we don't mind adapting ourselves to wherever they are.
And
how's that not being a master, man? How's that not being a master?
The indigo generation has the capacity to crystallize, of course, right? And so a lot of us as indigos, we had blockages in certain areas, but in a lot of the areas, especially the lower chakra systems, the red, we do mimic all there, right? So we are mimicking the same way a crystal does for most people around us. That's why we're the same sort of capacity for healing, but we're not as tuned in, right? Like crystals are born tuned right into source usually.
No, we had to go through. That's why I don't think I'm a crystal, but I understand it because I feel like I understand
evolve.
it now.
You evolve, right?
Exactly.
And you would crystallize, right? That's what when we talk about our Merkaba crystallizing and our energy crystallizing, you evolve into a crystal eventually. If you have that capacity within you, if you were put here to become that, then that's what you'll do. And I think that's where I'm at now. Finally, it's taken me a long time, and it's very hard to balance that because especially the indigo has to dissolve the barriers that they were born with, which they are sort of programmatic barriers to that openness in order to become as open as the crystal. So that's probably what we're working on, at least together, and what a lot of the indigos are doing now is seeing the examples too of the crystals and then going, oh, I could totally do that.
Yeah.
And then learning how to actually manage it, because when we chameleon the other people, we have to chameleon them without any judgment, right? Because if they're being shitty to us, we feel the shitty.
I want to be shitty back. Like it's a hard thing for me to not want to meet people where they're at and go, this is what you look like right now. And is that wrong of me to want to mirror somebody when they're being shitty? Or when you hear to receive things with love, what does that mean to you? What is it? Because I don't think we always understand even what that means. Because God's even come to me when I've had to give tough love. And he's like, tough love is tough love. It's love still, So.
What I'll say is the first thing to do is to let yourself off the hook. You'll respond how you need to respond in the moment to show you whatever it is later, right? So you'll reflect on that situation after it occurs, and it will enlighten you more, right? Each situation's there for your growth. So once we can get into that mindset, which you're already in that mindset, right?
Yes.
So once we understand that, then it's more of a practice of being non-reactionary. So when somebody triggers you, you just silence. You hear the Buddhists and people talk about silence. It's being non-reactionary to their nonsense. You hold your power, you stand in their shitty feelings, and you just observe it. And what I found the best way to do it is to go, oh, this person wants to fight with me right now. I'll just wander off to non-human form, and I'll just say, these humans are funny. Like these humans are fucking
I get
funny.
sucked into the human drama still, and I'm trying to break that crusader warriorness, and I'm always going to be a warrior. And I know a lot of people will feel that way. I don't want to give up my warriorness because that is what allows me to then be this way. That's what a lot of people don't understand. And I'm actually kind of just, when I'm speaking, a lot of times I'm processing. It's weird.
Me too.
But what I'm gathering right now is that the only way I can be non-reactionary is because I have been a warrior. Because that little bit of intensity, that little bit of like that confidence, and that little like, who the fuck is this human talking to like that? That little bit is enough to deter them from taking it a step further. where you can now be that soundboard for them. Because in the end, if somebody's coming at you fucking twisted, it's for them and not you. It's not about you. It's never about you. My thing is taking it personal still because of the emotion. I get so sucked into that.
It's hard.
And
when the heart opens, a lot of men aren't used to having like a super open heart. We're pretty like defensive and right. Yeah, we're like, you could,
the Grinch. Oh, it feels, I feel it. What are these
oh my
feelings?
God. Yeah, like I had a picture, somebody sent me a picture of like the Grinch with the Xmas lights on him, and it's like his heart is like lighting up and he just looks so miserable. And that's kind of what it's like when we first start to wake up and open the heart, is we feel the misery, the suffering, and not just in ourselves, but in other people. And so it's really hard, and we need to just, honestly, a lot of it is let ourselves off the hook, because we're doing the best we can, and we are experiencing deep pain and trauma, and especially with me, it's with women, right? And so like that's a standard thing for divine masculines. They're going to need to heal wounding from women, and it's going to show up in different forms. For me, it was all abandonment, but so now I just think everybody, even right before this call, I was like, it's 3:34, he's gone, I'm getting in the bath, fuck this guy. But it wasn't like that.
No, I get it, dude.
It was just like, forget it then.
I say to you, bro, I was even thinking, because I got a little upset too immediately when you were like already gone. I was like, but what I gathered from it is you're literally helping me let go of the semantics.
And I got from it, and I got the same from it. It was like, I'm not honoring him. If I'm, I can give him a couple of minutes. I don't need to be some kind of like dictator, like, oh, you be here right now. Like, it's, I could chill. And so I was like, I was almost trying to like, but it wasn't you. It was just like,
I get it, man. It's our own stuff. It's our own.
People leave me. That's fine.
Yep. Dude,
I wasn't even.
Yes.
I wasn't even mad. I was just like, that's fine. If he doesn't want to, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope he changes his mind though, because I'd like to.
It's like it, dude. It's a heart thing, and that's what exactly going back even to what we were talking about that randomly. So basically, we had set a time to jump on this Zoom, and
3:33.
I came on. I texted him at 3:30. It was for 3:33, and by 3:34, he's like, "Oh, I'm in the bath." I'm like, how do you get in the bath within a minute? Like,
bro, and you know what? At 3:30, I was like, I had messaged you a few minutes prior to that. I'm like, are we still doing this? And you didn't see it, I guess. Right. And I didn't get a confirmation that we're still doing it. And so in my mind, I'm like, I don't think this is going to happen.
Like, I had the freaking Zoom open. I was waiting for you to come on and start talking to me because I was doing some work, and that was the only thing. But what's so incredible is just shows that, like, no matter how far you get in the spiritual journey, you're still a human. And to be honest, bro, we're in our young 30s. We're kids. And that's something that came to me with this idea. We're going to jump back onto the divine feminine and the inhaling divine masculine, but this kind of goes into that is we're no longer spiritual toddlers. Remember how I kept talking about that? And you're like, you probably shouldn't say that because then you're going to be that. What they came to me was with this image of a school bus. And it's, I'm not a toddler anymore where I'm hanging out with mommy and daddy all day. I'm on that fucking school bus and I'm like 6 or 7 years old, which to some people that might be offensive to hear. Oh, I'm not a kid. But on a spiritual journey to be from 3 to 7, to be a 7-year-old is so much grander and greater than being a 3-year-old in terms of knowledge, wisdom, experience, capability. And so if you think about it, to help us with pace and patience, what if we were just kids in elementary school right now on this spiritual journey?
It's the Age of Horus, right? Did you know that?
No.
Okay, so it's the Age of Horus right now, and so what that means is that we've put aside this cycle is going to be a few thousand years of being children. So we're actually graduating into children. We're healing the inner child and then becoming the inner child, and that's why when me and you were getting together, it's very fun. We're just, we're talking about serious things,
but growing out.
We're just having fun like we would in school, right? We're just being like kids, right? The innocence is there. We're not trying to like manipulate things or, we're just experiencing the world, experiencing being, we're present with each other. So it's, when they set these things in place, these cycles are meant so that creator can experience certain archetypes of themselves at certain times. And so they'll be like, what if we have 7 million people that need to remember how to be a child? Wouldn't that be cool? 7 billion people or 8 billion or however many souls are here, whatever. That's sort of what it was like when we were planning this. It was we were wanting to experience this particular type of thing at this particular time. We were wanting this archetype. Notice I'm saying we. I'm feeling source speaking through me, right? It's channeling, right? So
I'm you just got my chakras I just lined up.
Yeah, and
that was crazy. Because I'm now getting the same feeling, and what I gathered is it's bringing us back to the divine feminine and divine masculine conversation we started with this crazy diatribe that we went on. But it's perfect because all of our issues with our divine feminine, all our issues with women are due to our childhoods and due to us losing our innocence. And because we lost our innocence with women at a very young age, we didn't feel good enough. We didn't feel received. We didn't feel like, imagine walking up 7 years old, you walk up to little Susie with a flower and she goes, nah, and she like slaps it out of your hand, bro.
That probably
you become a fucking man whore in like a second from that. That is like how, women are like, how did you get like this? Well, because you were an asshole to freaking Johnny.
Why are you such a dick?
So
I'm a dick because I'm fucked up.
Fucked up, man. Exactly. And so what I've gathered from this whole thing is, how do we regain our innocence, especially in relationships, especially in intimate relationships where,
ooh, that's a good one.
You know, when we were 4 or 5 years old, 6 years old, and we got our first broken heart, or we got our first rejection, or even, you don't know how adults treat it. Like, I have my stories, you know what I mean? So imagine trying to form intimate relationships with the other sex after something has happened to you. An adult has done something to you to not trust yourself, to you to not believe in yourself, to you to believe there's something wrong with you. So that is what I believe a lot of starseeds went through, because sexual trauma is such an intense way of breaking a spirit. And I believe that's why I chose it as a starseed. I chose that to be my breaking, was that experience, was because it's so life defining that if you cannot be taken all the way down with it, it will become your resurrection. It will be your salvation. And so with all the people that are still struggling with potential memories that they may or may not have actually brought out of them yet, what do you feel? Because you talked about your childhood being a little bit of why you have trouble with women now. And I've had nothing but issues with women my whole entire life. I still do, but I love them so much.
Oh my God. Yep.
So, I mean, this is real, people. This is like human stuff right here, man. Like, I still struggle.
Yeah, it's hard
to trust, to be loved, to receive love, to allow someone to make a mistake that hurts my heart. To allow
and know that it's not their fault. It's our pain.
And so that's what, we're talking about here right now, is the real shit. This is that real
intimacy, right? That's what we're trying to get to with divine feminine.
Yeah, man.
From a divine masculine point of view.
Yeah.
So in my experience is that I felt like everything that I ever did for women was not the right thing. And then there was that whole like type of Me Too movement and things where a lot of men were demonized, and not that they didn't do it, but as a man, you start to take on that pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You start to take on the pain of like, oh, like men treat women like shit.
And being mad at the men, which means you're mad at yourself.
You get mad at the men. You take on the trauma willingly. But in my case, for me, it was abandonment, because what would happen was I would fall in love with a girl. It happened over and over and over and over and over. I'd fall in love with a girl. I'd be like, here's my heart. And then she'd go, oh, ew. And, but what, get away from me. I don't like you. You fucking weirdo. You love me? Ew.
Ow.
And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty gross. That's true.
Oh, yeah, shit.
That's true. I'm pretty fucking gross. So I guess I'll just go. And so then later,
I'm just gonna fuck off over here.
Yeah, I'll just go fuck off over here and jerk it or something, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, because
no, man.
Relatable.
It's funny. Like, but what else am I going to do in that when I'm a kid, right? So and then I'd have women control me as well. So I had one, and I'm not going to mention her name or anything like that. because that would be very disrespectful. But I had one who would constantly need attention, and she would get it through cutting herself and through like trying to commit suicide and things like that. And so I was always wanting to try and heal her, or help her somehow, right? So, but that's how she would get power from me, was like, I remember one time I think I was on psilocybin, and I was just like, and I wandered to the bathroom, and she's like laying in a pool of blood in the bathtub, and I'm just like, holy fuck, like, and
Fuck, man.
yeah, and I'm on mushrooms at the time, right? And so I'm like, I lose my mind. Basically, I'm like, she's dying. The world is over. Because I loved her, right, too. And so I thought she was gonna die, because it wasn't as bad as it looked. She had just made sure it looked as bad as possible. She was punishing me. At least this is what I believe. She was punishing me at the time because she didn't like that I decided to take mushrooms in the middle of the day on a Tuesday or something. And I was just like, bitch, I'm taking mushrooms. And she's like,
I'm gonna ruin them for you.
Excuse me? And
I'm gonna ruin psilocybin for you for the rest of your life. Watch me. Watch me.
You can't ruin that substance. Anyway, so I went, it's funny. I went in there. It's not funny,
ruin
but
that substance.
No,
I
you can't.
tried.
Yeah, I've tried.
I love it.
Yeah, I still love it. I don't really
still-
take
yeah.
it now, but
Yeah.
but I may again. We'll see. But it was those type of wounds that then they come up, and so now for me it's abandonment. So like I'm just terrified. I'm terrified that they're gonna leave. So everything that I do ends up becoming like a power play of me trying to make sure they know just how dedicated I am to them, right? Don't worry, I'm so dedicated to you that you couldn't even get rid of me if you wanted to. Like, I will follow you around.
Yeah,
I'll put you in a box and drag you with me. Like,
just because I'm that dedicated.
I'm so dedicated that it's not even up to you, right? That's almost the energy that you're giving, right? And they're going, no, I'm a goddess. You
worship me.
Worship me. I worship you. Then we come to union, right? It's very simple, but it's not simple, right? Because it's so bumpy because there's so much wounding on either side, and so trying to come to actual real intimacy is so hard. So hard to come to it and then hold it too, and be able to balance between like intimacy and then when you have a conflict, because you're going to have conflicts still.
I don't deal. That's the part I don't deal with well. I don't deal with drama well.
It's hard, man.
I don't deal with conflict well, and I don't. Yeah. I ask people to call me on my shit, but when they do and I don't receive it the way they think, just because I ask you to call me on my shit doesn't mean I'm going to receive it the way you want me to.
Exactly. Like, and what I noticed,
on me though, dude, it's also on me. I still, because I'm so hard on myself, I realize this, and this is why I still am not in that real relationship I want, is because I have yet to find that compromise with myself, to let myself off the hook, to give myself a break. And so I expect perfection for myself, and I'm not being cocky, but there's 80% of the time I reach it. I reach those expectations.
Oh yeah.
Which means that literally maybe 10% of the time somebody else is going to reach those expectations. And so I have to really learn to just, it's not learning, dude. I really think it's not learning. And this is what I love this conversation because we're moving into this. It's, if you haven't found the person you're supposed to be with yet, it's because it's not time. Mm-hmm. The universe is going to bring you that person. And when they come, it ain't going to be that much work. It will be work, but it'll be worth it. And it's not going to be any of this crazy shit. It's not going to be any of this power play. It's not going to be any of this crap. It's just going to.
Yep.
But it ain't going to work until you do your work.
Yep.
And that other person does their work.
And I'll just add on to that. Like, part of it is just releasing some of the expectation.
Right? How do you do that? Teach me.
I'll do my best. What I do is I have faith, right? So trust in the person. So energy, trust in the person, right? And have just an understanding that even though they've just done something that you don't consider to be within your expectations, right? Yesterday you were deep in love with them, right? And now they do this and you're just like, oh, I don't know. I now have all these questions, right? We're all perfectly imperfect beings, right? And sometimes we're going to see flaws in each other that we're just like, or things about each other that we just don't really resonate with ourselves. And it's about honoring and respecting that weirdness that they just did and just being like, I don't get it, but I love you. So, I mean, that's not me, but I love you. So,
Go for it.
so yeah, knock yourself out. And you can even feel like what they're doing is literally a bad idea. But and that's why they call this time period, they call this the choosing. And this is the choosing. And so it's people choosing each other. And when they choose each other, they have to, they have to kind of come into this harmony. And as that happens, there's a lot of bumps along the way. You can choose someone who doesn't choose you. And that's hard. But if you both are choosing each other and consistently showing up for each other, then it's really just about holding the space for the other person, sitting there and watching them be upset that you've, bothered them in some way, and then even not retaliating or defending yourself, just being like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. I don't know. That's what I said. It must have been right. There's no mistakes, lady. Right. Yeah. And just, but all owning your power, right? Because if you apologize and say, oh, next time you're giving it away again. And it's a balance, because there are concessions you may want to make, right? It's understanding that like they may have a point, right? Maybe you did something pretty shitty, right? And maybe it was just a miscommunication. But usually it's miscommunication because the intent on both sides is to make it work, right? And so you're both trying to make it work. The other thing that I'd like to say too is fishing, like fishing for some sort of type of response.
Yep.
That's all projection of our insecurity, right? So when we can recognize when we're about to try and fish, like, I'm going to say this so that they say that. I want them to say that, like, I'm going to say,
I need their permission.
Right. For me, I used to do it about my beard to people. I'd be like, I don't know if I should have a beard or not. I don't know. Right. And I'm like, I'm being a baby, right? Decide, own it, whatever. And so I'd be like, and I'm not saying that to, I realized after we were talking about your beard.
It doesn't fucking grow. That's it. I got it right here, and then it'll grow, and then it look like ZZ Top. I look like a dirty redneck. I already got like a mullet going. So. Dude, I'm in Florida, you know what I mean, man? Like, I'm all America at this point. I even got an American flag shirt on. Yeah, you gotta go. I told you. You got the Canadian. You're the Canadian Florida man.
I don't give a shit, man. I'm growing my hair out like Jesus. I said this a while ago. I think
I got great locks. Can't help it.
Yeah, I got Goldilocks up in this.
Something I wanted to bring up about the divine feminine masculine, the theory that I've come up with, imbue, whatever words, right? So what I've noticed is that.
Oh, my battery's gonna run out.
Oh shit!
Literally low battery. 3 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. We've been at this for a while, so I'm gonna end with this. We've been at this for over an hour now.
Oh, good.
I think, right? We could do it. Dude, it's 5 o'clock. So, anyway, we could do another one tomorrow, so that'll be great. But I wanted to finish with this real quick. This theory about divine feminine and masculine. What I've realized is that in the last 10 years, they've flipped, where women are now being more like men and men are being more like women. And I believe that is meant to happen in society. But from the Godhead, from the 100,000 square foot view, it's men healing the divine feminine, men healing the divine masculine and getting in touch with the divine feminine, women healing the divine masculine and getting in touch, or healing their divine feminine and getting in touch with the divine masculine, and us not being able to fucking deal with it because I'm a person too. I have feelings. Like, I'm a guy now. I have feelings. I'm a person. And the woman's like, you're a bitch. I noticed it, dude. It's so
kneel to me.
You're a pussy. Like, oh, I'm gonna go and shave my face. You know what I mean?
It's so true. It's so
true, dude. It's so true.
It's so true. That's exactly what the plan was.
Yeah. This 100%. Conversation was amazing, brother. Let's do it again.
Always. Tomorrow.
Live stream it, bro. Let's start it.
Yeah,
we're gonna start live streaming these things. We're just gonna start freaking just going with it and see what happens.
Yeah, and we'll take questions and stuff. It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
All right, dude.
A big idea I have is Friday night live streams where we can actually start bringing people on to the Zoom call and having conversation with us for a little bit.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep.
That is, yeah, you're a genius, dude. All right. This was great. I love it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for talking. Adam, love you always, man. And
Love you, brother.
let's do this again.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, bye.